With everything from rugged coastlines to alien-like topography to breathtaking scenery on offer, choosing the best places to hike in Europe can be a challenge. For nature lovers, Europe is the perfect hiking destination. In addition to stunning landscapes, many of the destinations can be hiked in different seasons for a completely different experience. The best hikes in Europe are those that show off the remarkable nature of the continent. It could mean anything from alpine crossings to coastal walks. Europe is made up of over 40 countries, and each boasts its own culture, terrain, and beauty. There are a full 10 major mountain ranges which, alongside the 100 minor mountain ranges on the continent, make up around 20% of the European landmass. That's a whole lot of mountains and a lot of hikes to choose from. So, to bring us the question, what are the best hikes in Europe? Before we get into the list of amazing hiking places in Europe, we would like to remind you that we have a bonus fact for you towards the very end, so don't forget to stay tuned. That being said, let's get into it. Number 1. Alta dei Monzoni, Italy. The Dolomites in Italy are one of the best hikes in Europe, and can be classified as moderate to fairly easy. The Dolomites are one of the most beautiful mountain chains in the world, and they are packed with incredible hiking trails. One of the most interesting ones is Alta dei Monzoni in Val di Fassa in the Dolomites. The starting point is in the parking lot of Passo San Pellegrino, which is about 15 minutes drive from Modena, one of the main villages in the valley, where you can ride the ski lift to the beginning of the trail. From there, it's a 5 to 6 hours loop, depending on how fast you walk and how often you stop for photos. The views throughout the hike are stunning. You get to see some of the most impressive peaks of the Dolomites. The trail goes along World War I trenches, and you get to see both the Austrian one and the Italian one, as well as some sniper stations. It's recommended to hire a guide because, although the trail is easy to follow and well marked, a guide will provide you with historical facts as well as information about the mountain range, the way of life in the region, and the local environment. The hike can be classified as moderate, with some fairly easy bits when it goes through the meadows and some more difficult parts when it follows the narrow trenches path. Number 2. Norwegian Fjords, Norway. For extreme variations in the scenery in one stunning place, head to the fjords of Norway. Here are thousands of walks for all types of hikers. Take the family on treks over blue glaciers, viewing mountains that come straight up from the narrow fjords. Or wander through natural parks offering the diversity of barren glaciers to lush forests. Those up for a challenge can visit the iconic Trolltunga, Geiranger Himakana, Langfossen, or Preikestolen. All levels of trekkers are welcome. Number 3. Mount Triglav, Slovenia. Every true Slovenian must climb this beloved mountain, and so should mountaineers visiting this country. There are 2 ways to access the 2,864-meter summit, both challenging and relying on ferrata routes or fixed cables to help climbers through the scree and along narrow paths. Check out the route from Charming Bled that rests en route at Dinarica Haute, the highest mountain in Slovenia. You can get guided walks or take it on yourself, but with the Via Ferrata in place, a lot of people are thankful they got the guide when they get there. You have to be a very experienced mountaineer and have the appropriate equipment with you to go it alone. There are plenty of other amazing hikes in Slovenia too. Number 4. Caucasus Mountains, Georgia. When you go hiking in Georgia, you go exploring where few others have before. Georgia's area, the Caucasus Mountains, have just opened to tourism in recent years. You'll spot wildlife like deer, chamois, and marmot, and also be sparkled by green, white, and turquoise lakes. You will also pass through medieval villages and towns, and be surrounded by peaks shooting up into the sky. The country's 3rd highest peak, Mount Kazbek, can be climbed too. Number 5. Via Dinarica, the Balkans. Get to the Balkans and explore the food, music, and old world heritage that still exists in this corner of Europe. The Via Dinarica traverses the Dinaric Alps and Shar mountain range in more than 120 stages. It acts as an adventure and cultural corridor across Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Kosovo, Serbia, Albania, and Macedonia. Complete the entire 1,930-kilometer trail or break it down into chunks, such as in our 8-day adventure from Croatia to Bosnia. Number 6. The West Highland Way, Scotland. The West Highland Way is one of the most iconic multi-day hikes in the world. It'd be fair to say the same about the Scottish Highlands in general as one of the globe's favorite walking destinations. The West Highland Way route has everything you need. Leaving Milngavie, a small town near Glasgow, you head 95 miles north to Fort William, next to Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the UK. Along the way, you'll walk on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond and climb Connick Hill for beautiful views over the loch. You'll walk through Glencoe, past the famous Forum of Buckle Etive Moor, through the Rannoch Moor, and eventually reach Glen Nevis and Fort William. There are options for hotels, mountain huts, or cabins to stay in along the way, although many people choose to camp. This is the oldest hiking trail in the UK and remains one of the finest hiking trails in the world. Number 7. Tour de Monte Rosa, Italy. The trek around this 4,634-meter mountain is stunning, and it is not easy. Every day there are steep ascents and descents over ice and rock. Besides glacial conditions, there are alpine meadows and forested valleys to trek through. From balcony ridges, you'll see a panoramic paradise of peaks all over 4,000 meter high, including back to the remarkable Matterhorn in Zermatt, Switzerland. Number 8. Canary Islands, Spain. Tenerife, Gran Canaria, and La Gomera are all set up for walking, and each has an individual flair. Tenerife boasts the world's third highest volcano, pine forests for vines, and coastal paths with the fewest hikers of the 3 islands. Gran Canaria also has dramatic valleys and rocky shorelines to trek, but it's missing the massive volcano, so it has better views. The most distinctive scenery is on La Gomera, where you could be trekking in South or Central America. If you want to go further afield, take a long weekend to trek El Hierro. Number 9. Laugavegurinn, Iceland. Wild Icelandic horses running through neon green valleys, hot springs, and steam rising from black volcanic rock sounds like another planet. Trek this 55-kilometer route is famous for folklore and magic, which you can experience as you make your way through rainbow-colored hills and over glaciers. The variety of landscapes on this hike makes it distinctively remarkable. Make sure you book huts in advance and prepare for extreme weather. Number 10. Haute Route, France and Switzerland. The Haute Route starts at the foot of Mont Blanc, the highest massive in Western Europe, and ends on the flanks of the most famous, if not the most elegant and most insanely recognizable of all mountains, the Matterhorn. Even though it has made its name for being one of the best winter hikes on skis, the 200-kilometer-long summer version of this trek is certainly no less interesting or challenging. On this hike, you'll cross 11 passes, clog up more than 12,000 meters in ascents, and pass under 10 of the 12 highest peaks in the Alps. Thank you for staying with us this far, lovely viewers. Here's a bonus fact as a token of our appreciation. Ben Nevis is, without a doubt, the most iconic and a must for any UK hiking trip. As the tallest peak in the UK, it sees hikers from all over the globe who come in search of stunning views from the summit. On a clear day, you can see across half of Scotland stretched out in front of your eyes. Which one of the hiking trails mentioned do you think is the best for you? Comment down below and let us know if you've been to any of the trails we mentioned in this video. If you enjoyed the content, uplift the channel by hitting like, subscribe, and ring the YouTube bell to meet us again in the next video. Until next time!